Feminism is a religion. I'm aware that the title of this video may be a wild assertion, if indeed that was what I intended to offer. That can be determined by comparing consistent criteria between different religious bodies. The Internet provides a variety of definitions of what religion is. These definitions are written from various viewpoints, from the non-religious to the fundamentalist. They often overlap to a degree. I have devised the following list from a number of sources which deal with the characteristics of religion. Religion is 1. A belief in a deity or deities, a supernatural force or forces, and/or in the overarching mystical power or prophetic ability of a person or persons, living or dead. This figure or figures is the central focus of the religious body who look to it or them as a guide to life or existence. 2. A doctrine or dogma, usually codifying appropriate conduct, including what is moral or ethical behavior, often related through word of mouth or literature. These doctrines often prescribe a specific worldview. 3. A specific doctrine relating a deprived condition for which belief is the only salvation, including what is held sacred and what is profane. An answer to how to resolve the depravity must also be provided. 4. A specific doctrine or dogma related to the evil, ignorant, or low nature of those who do not share your beliefs and what to do with or about those individuals, i.e., the us versus them dichotomy. 5. Specific doctrines or dogmas to provide answers that often do not accord with reality. 6. Often contains ritualistic ceremonies or the use of specialized language. 7. May provide locations and times for meetings to discuss or disseminate doctrinal beliefs and provides a social structure in which to promote or support its system of belief. 8. An organized body of leaders to ensure adherence and to adjust as needed to doctrinal requirements and provide guidance. 9. Often is promoted by emotional coercion. 10. Often is found in diverse denominations, separated by interpretations of doctrine or dogma. These are the general foundations of what religion is and how it is put into practice. Understand that not all religions give equal weight to each of these categories, but each religion does cover most, if not all of them. Buddhists do not have a belief in a divine being, and Taoists do not make predictions about how the world will end, but they cover enough of the spectrum to qualify as religious. Taking what we know about religion, and I know I have just distilled qualifications that some of the religious will have issue with, as I have outlined it. The Buddhist would perhaps say, Buddha is not divine. He does still qualify as a divine personage, a messenger of spiritual enlightenment, who is held in the highest regard. The Taoist would say, but I don't believe in the divine, and even if I did, they have no effect on me. I would reply, you have your unnamed and unnameable spiritual creator from whence all things come. Christians can be heard chiming in. But Christianity is not a religion, it is a personal relationship. Need I roll my eyes at that assertion? Similarly, I fully expect the evidence I'm about to present to be a hive of contention. I say sociologists, psychologists, and social scientists of all stripes, pay heed. In the last 50 years, we have watched a social movement primarily aimed at liberating women from their parents, husbands, and chaperones turn into a religion. From removal of restraint to the injection of restraint. From bra burning to book burning. The last 50 years has done more to demonstrate how and why religions form than the last 50 generations of uninformed debate and philosophical one-upmanship could have hoped to achieve. Qualification 1. Do feminists believe in a divine being, a supernatural power, or a mystical leader? Does such a belief inform their dogma or doctrine? The answer is a qualified yes. There are those feminists of the traditional religious bent that believe the deity of their original religion is not a male but a female figure. They partake of their original religion as if this deity were in existence as any non-feminist would. There are also those feminists that seek out other female religious figures and adopt their particular worship. There are even those feminists who take the figure of the ambiguous deity, the goddess, as their figurehead. In each of these cases, these deities act as the inspiring force of the feminist in question. Even those feminists who do not ascribe to the belief in personal deities of one sort or another do accept a mystical leadership focused on person or persons. You might think to disagree. Have at it, but I'm not done. Feminists themselves make up this body of mystical soothsayers and prophets. Those with the loudest voices and those with the saddest stories always rise to the top of this hierarchy, only to be dashed down again as the next great victim arises. Such luminaries as Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, Madame Curie, and the semi-mythical Amazons have risen to unassailable sainthood as leading examples. Qualification 2. Do feminists have a doctrine which is transmitted amongst themselves and to resultant generations? Does this doctrine communicate a preferred code of conduct or assert an appropriate worldview? The answer again must be yes. Unlike most established religions, there is no specific canonized holy text. In the modern age, such an archaic contrivance is unnecessary. The canon of feminism is strewn across 100 books, thousands of television presentations, and millions of blog posts and discussion posts. It is transmitted through university courses and through purpose-built websites, all exploring, expanding, and adding to this ever-growing dogma. These are not random in their nature. They share key points of thought: patriarchy, pay gap, gender politics, etc. Taken as a whole, they are the ever-fluid doctrine that 21st century technology makes possible. Qualification 3. Does feminism communicate a perceived depraved condition, what is proper and improper, and suggest a method of resolution to the perceived depravity? Again, a yes is all that can be answered here. Feminism does indeed perceive and communicate that society is depraved. Specifically, they point to a mystical belief in undetectable patriarchy, a patriarchy which neither empowers men nor prevents women from positions of power. Further, they believe the following of society: that white heterosexual males hold and wield all power and privilege, that regardless of their status in society, most, if not all men, are taught from birth to despise women, that women, regardless of their status in society, are the victims of oppression, even and especially if they do not feel any sense of oppression, that heterosexuals, especially heterosexual males, are always seeking to oppress those who are not strictly heterosexual, etc. They do define what is proper and improper. That which they, often on a personal level, feel is improper must by definition be improper. Likewise with what is proper. Given the fluid nature of the doctrines of feminism, these improprieties and appropriate behaviors are given full voice to society at large, and are adopted by those who agree. As far as resolution, one cannot be said to be desired in the greatest part, for resolutions are proposed and even encouraged, such as the doctrines of kill all men, the 10% solution, ban bossy, and or fight like a girl, are often entertained, mostly for their entertainment value. These are all suggestive of resolution, regardless the seriousness of the proposer or the adherent. Qualification 4. Do feminists have a definition of what is evil and a system of combating it? As stated for qualification 3, the answer is indeed yes. Feminists not only accept that the threat is of itself evil, they have very specific means by which they are taught to deal with it. Shaming language, threats of false legal claims, moving definitional parameters are but a few of the tamer methods in use. Threats of actual physical violence or even death, not unheard of, show a willingness to entertain the further end of the spectrum. Qualification 5. Do feminists resort to dogmatic belief in doctrine that is beyond rational proof? Once again, as before, we must answer in the affirmative. Feminists do believe in that which can either not be proven or that which has been debunked. Items such as the pay gap, the invisible patriarchy, the belief that all men are to blame for what one man does are all examples of extra-realistic beliefs. Also beliefs such as men are broken women, the glass ceiling, and female infallibility also illustrate other examples. These beliefs are rife throughout feminist doctrinal tradition. Qualification 6. Is feminism ritualistic or does it use specialized language? At first glance you might think that feminism could not qualify under this circumstance, but they do. The answer is yes. Not only do feminists hold to certain traditions, such as publishing, protesting, and online trolling for negative feedback and blogging, but feminism has been using and attempting to develop specialized linguistics since its inception. Items such as mansplaining, manspreading, sea-lining are but a few examples of wholly invented concepts granted us by feminism. Privilege, patriarchy, insert word here phobia, and even rape are examples of concepts previously well established that have been co-opted and redefined by feminism. Qualification 7. Does feminism gather to meet or promote their beliefs socially? Again, undoubtedly, yes. Feminism is the most coordinated and interactive religion to ever exist. Feminist conferences, campus societies, and online discussion groups are prolific. Beyond these media, feminists evangelize their beliefs wherever they go for the purpose of gaining support to their belief system. Feminists will protest events and personalities, will proactively seek to demonize those they oppose, even without grounds to do so, all in an effort to spread their message to both adherents and to those they might reach outside their community. Qualification 8. Does feminism have a recognized and organized system of leadership and support for its beliefs? Here may be the hardest question to answer. Feminism, much like all female social activity, does have a leadership. This leadership is not an established body of leaders. It is fluidic in nature, as described in Qualification 1. This fluidity is intentional. It allows the most influential to lead until they are inevitably removed to allow new voices to be heard. Its recognition by feminists is nearly universal. Its inevitable changes applauded. Its continuance assured. Therefore, yes. Qualification 9. Does feminism use emotionally targeted doctrines for survival or recruitment? Unquestionably, yes. Feminists are known to use any instigation or imagined instigation to rev up an emotional response to which adherents and would-be adherents can further support their beliefs. Everything from a scientist proudly wearing a gift in his moment of achievement to any random, unproven accusation of wrongdoing by their opposition. No level of mundanity is too low if it can be milked for an emotional outcry from the followers or the gathering of even one more supporter. Qualification 10. Are there multiple interpretations of feminist doctrine, and do they cause schismatic denominationalism? Judging from the number of "I am a true feminist, you are not" statements throughout feminist social interaction, there can be no doubt that the answer here is yes, but also that such denominational divisions already exist. To list a few: Amazon feminism, anarcho-feminism, cultural difference feminism, erotic feminism, ecofeminism, equality feminism, essentialist feminism, intersectional feminism, lesbian feminism, pop feminism, postmodern feminism, separatist feminism, and socialist feminism. These are denominational shifts in the movement that is known as feminism. Such shifts often occur throughout a religion's life cycle. In polytheism, this could take the form of the worship of specific deities. In monotheism, as in feminism, this takes the form of differences in interpretation of the doctrine of the religion in question. Radical feminists are no different than the fundamental Christian or the jihadi Muslim. They are the forward fringe of true believers, the ones willing to pay any price for the perpetuation of their beliefs. They are a necessary element. They dramatize the conflict. They make it exciting, something that others might want to be a part of. Far from the disowned extreme they are advertised to be, they are the prime movers, pushing adherents in the direction of the next assault. So what conclusions can we draw from this analysis? Well, I am sure if we can agree that religions exist, and that religions exhibit the behaviors as described, that feminism does indeed fit the criteria. Therefore, we can conclude feminism is a religion, not unlike all other religions that have come before it. It is not even original to the modern age, but is an extension of beliefs attributed to the Greek Amazons and Lesbosians, or actions attributed to such persons as Cleopatra and Joan of Arc. To my audience, feminists, if you have made it this far, congratulations. Now go ahead and think about how misogynistic I am, about all my privilege, and go claim your PTSD from having experienced this atrocity. Don't bother to comment below. I've heard all the absurdities, and my response to you all is this single word: ableist. Your emotional reasons have no effect on my analysis. Atheists and anti-theists. Not feminist first, atheist second types, and certainly not the A-plussers out there. See my comment above. I'm clearly serious. I am anti-religious for the same reason many who claim to be. Religions, regardless of flavor, clearly expect the unreal and unreasonable to be accepted on faith alone. I accept nothing on faith of any kind. Neither should you. To the social scientists of all stripes who made it this far, good. Now do your own study and see if you do not draw the same conclusion. When looked at scientifically, in a side-by-side comparison, can you honestly say that I'm wrong to categorize feminism with its fellow religions?